The Thunder beat the Knicks 129-120. The explosive duo of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams combined for 72 points. Shai Gilgeous had 36, 8 and 7. Jalen Williams. I think everybody names Williams in the state of Oklahoma play for the Thunder. He had 36 on 5 of 5 threes, 76% field goal. He was 13 of 17. Chet Holmgren had 22, and the Thunder now moved to 20-9. I like the Thunder, Gil. I like them.
Yeah, I do too, but they're young, right? You know, they're gonna give you those days where they're gonna be clicking because your best player, Shai, he has it, right? He understands the game. He's dominating the game right now. He for the last 3, 4, 5 years, he's been shown that he is a superstar. Yes. So with him leading the charge, it's easier for everybody else to just chip in here and there. So they have great players around Shai that can just do what they do and don't have to worry about the heavy lifting.
Yeah. I love Shai. I mean, he has a tremendous pull step back. He can get to the rack. Mm-hmm. He can finish with either hands. He's a little bit more explosive because you think he's going to lay it up and he will flush it on you. He got a nice little 3 game. That's not in his arsenal, but he can get hot and hit the 3. Mm-hmm. As you mentioned, Williams, I saw him against the Lakers a couple of days ago. Even though the Lakers won, he can stroke it from 3. He can really shoot the ball from outside. Chet Holmgren, he's up and coming. He needs to add about 10 pounds to that frame. But what I like about him, he ain't just jacking up threes. He'll try to put the ball on the floor and try to get to the rim. He'll try to poke it on you. And he's challenging everything. You might flush on him, but he's going to block 2 or 3 shots. He's going to alter 2 or 3 shots. So he's going to impact the game from a defensive perspective for about 10 points because he's going to block 2 or 3 of your shots. He's going to alter 2 or 3 of your shots, and maybe he'll make the time of possession run out on a few of your shots. So he's going to account for 10 points. That's why they're so good defensively, even though they are young. But I like this team. They can get up and down. They can play a lot of different styles. They got young guys, and when you know young guys, you don't know any better. You don't know anything about being tired. Mm-hmm. But I love Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and maybe Kawhi went a little bit too fast. Because how do you think the Clippers, and we're going to continue on with this, but how do you think the Clippers would look with Shai Gilgeous and Kawhi? Would they be better than?
That's now you see why, like, you question that upper management. Like, what didn't you see? When did you see? I guess they were trying to win right now, and it was more of a package deal for Kawhi.
Kawhi wanted PG
to get
because I heard Doc was talking, and he tried to explain that he's like, you need to give this guy a year. He's like, Kawhi, he's really good. And he said, well, if you don't get me PG, I'm going to go to the team across the hallway. And they could ill afford to have that because that would have been a death sentence for the Clippers. You cannot have LeBron, AD, and Kawhi across the hall, and then all you have is what you've got. So I understand they had to make the move, and they gave up a king's ransom to get PG. But when you look at it, and you look at it player for player right now, Shai Gilgeous is a better player than PG, and he has been for the last couple of years.
Shame. I mean, to be honest, he might be a better player than both of them.
You might be right.
He might be right. He's steady.
I won't fight you. I won't debate you about it. That's for you. Damn sure.
I'm one of those too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it can go either way at this point. But he's steady. He's humble. He trains. He's worked. I mean, every summer he comes back. He's added something to his game. Clippers is going to always kick themselves, in the butt when they look back at some of the trades they made versus what they have now. But just like anything, you're always trying to move pieces to get better pieces when you don't know that what's fool's gold and what's real gold. What's that gem? What's that gem hiding in the hay? One of those. And he was one of those type of players.
You look at the Knicks. R.J. Barrett gave him 14. Julius Randle gave him 25. DiVincenzo gave him 17. Jalen Brunson was 24. Quickly was 22. But they let the Thunder shoot a very high percentage. And Thibodeau team is normally known for defense, but it's seemingly the Thunder were able to get whatever they wanted. Now it's very difficult. I mean, to try to say, okay, I understand you got Josh Hart, and I understand R.J. Barrett and DiVincenzo, but ain't nobody stopping Shai from getting where he wants to go. He's gonna get his shot because you try to beat him to the punch, and now he's gonna pull back and shoot that little 12-foot, 14-foot shot, and he's gonna swish it. And then all of a sudden, you think he's gonna pull back. He pulled heavy, and now he's landing up off the glass, or he's landing up either way, left-handed or right-handed, in the cup. So, and if they're gonna shoot it like this, if they're gonna shoot the ball like this, they got Chet, as I said, Chet's gonna challenge everything. You got Lou Dort, who's a quality defender, who can get hot and shoot the ball from three. And they got guys that can shoot the ball from three. I mean, when you look at this team, Jalen Williams can shoot it from three. Kendrick, he's more of a down low player, but he can get hot. Jalen Williams, well, Jalen and Jylin. Like I said, everybody named Williams in Oklahoma plays for the Thunder. But they got a nice young basketball team. Isaiah Joe, he can shoot the three ball, because I remember him last year when I was at the game in which LeBron passed Kareem. And every time the Lakers make a run, one of these Williams or Isaiah Joe would make a three to quell that run. So I was really impressed with the Thunder, and I think they're only going to get better. Josh Giddey, he's not having the season, because he normally by now probably have 2 or 3 triple doubles.
Yeah,
but that
I think with him, besides the off the court situation that's looming around him, I think with Chet there, it takes the ball out of his hand more. Right, and with Shai being more dominant, you don't need Giddey. Giddey's a movable piece at this point. You don't need him. His upside has dropped very, very drastically. The Knicks squad, I'm never going to be impressed with them. It reminds me, you like Thibodeau. You have 2 guys that's playing 30+ minutes, scoring 4 and 4. Like, what is the point of them being on the court when someone's averaging 20, 30 points?
Josh Hart played 34 minutes and he gave you 4 points.
Yeah, that's wasted minutes. Wasted minutes. You have Isaiah. Was it Isaiah
Hartenstein? But he's your center because the big guy went out. I mean, because they're already an undersized team. If you look at them, Hartenstein now is their largest player. So, I mean, you got to play a big because you got Julius Randle. Obviously Randle's got to play. RJ Barrett, they're decent size. But when you look at it, I mean, they're not a big team. That's why I don't think they can do anything in the East, because everybody else is ginormous. You look at Boston has great side with Porzingis, JT, and JB. They have great size with them. We know Milwaukee has trees with Giannis and Bobby Portis and Brook Lopez and Joel Embiid, and they come with and they come with I think it's Reed. Who's the backup center? I ain't talking about Mo Bamba. I ain't talking about him. No, I'm not talking about him. But they got big guys that can back you down, and I don't know who can actually in a 7-game series for the Knicks. I know they can win 1 game because Jalen Brunson can get hot and give you 50. We've seen Julius Randle. He can get hot and he give you 30, and he can give you 30, 40, and 15. But in a 4-game to win 4 games against Milwaukee or Boston or Philly, I don't believe they can do it. Do you think they can win a series against one of those 3 teams?
No, not those teams. The only team they can beat, and I said it last year, the only team y'all can beat here is playing against Cavs, and that's who they got. Cavs with Toronto. You can beat one of those teams with a player like Brunson. Once you start getting to that second round and you start going against them Giants, it's really hard to win with that lineup. I mean, your best, most dominant player is small. Becky Hammond said it right. They don't have a 1A player. They don't. Brunson is a great second player or third or coming off the bench as that it guy, right?
It's hard for small guys to win a title, Gil. I mean, you look at the history of the game as lead dogs, it's been Steph Curry and it's been Isaiah Thomas. Don't take anything away from AI. Chuck was outstanding, and he put up big numbers, led the league in scoring. Obviously, we know what he is. He was a historic player. But to win a championship, man, like I said, you got to be Steph Curry, who we know is transcendent, and Isaiah. Those are only. I'm talking when I say small, and I guess Steph Curry. What'd you say Steph is? 6'2", 6'2 and a half? 6'3 and a half. Isaiah 6'1". But when you start talking about is Brunson 6 foot?
With shoes on, he's 6'2". He made it.
So when we talk about small, now we know the big guards. We know Magic, and we know Jordan, guys of that. But man, for them little guards, man, you're asking an awful lot.
It's an awful lot, because if that's your best player, and it's not like he's athletic or like he's long, right? You know, where he can make up some of the height. Yeah. But he's small, stubby, compact, right? You know, it's like he's not a Chauncey Billups, but if you put him with like LeBron, great. If you put him with Boston, great. When he's the best player on a team, you really don't have a chance, because he has to do so much being limited. And he's very limited at his size. I mean, I compared him to IT, and to be honest, I'm pretty sure IT is offended, because IT was a 2-time All-Star averaging 29. And he's like, oh, don't compare me to dude. He ain't even on my level. Right. But that's just the case. When you're small, like Iverson, you got to average 32, 33, 24. I can get that from any guard. I can get 24 from any guard. But what he does bring is he brings leadership and knowing how to get a great bucket in the last 5 minutes of the game.
Sensational with that. So OKC wins that ball game 129-120.